Winter has arrived, that festive season of snuggling up by a fire, drinking hot cocoa, and spending lazy evenings with loved ones in peaceful repose. The one problem with this most idyllic image, ladies and gentlemen, and all variations thereupon, is that I don't have a proper fireplace. And for some reason, my landlord won't let me just knock through the wall and build a fireplace, so I'm stuck with this fake space for perhaps an electric fire. The other day, whilst working from home, I was listening to the Critical Role lo-fi things that they put out during the lockdown when they weren't filming the actual episodes. And on the one centred around Caduceus, there's this very interesting part where Caduceus will cast magic upon a log and mushrooms will sprout from it, glowing mushrooms. And so I thought to myself, I need a fireplace. So why not have a Caduceus style magical mushroom fireplace? Something to sit there and make the atmosphere feel more enchanted in this most enchanting of seasons. So if you're interested in building your own enchanted fireplace, come along with me on this journey and I'll show you how to do it. So what I've got for building the fireplace are these logs. Now these are just firewood logs that I've brought online. Came in a bag of about 9-10 of them, but these three were the only three with bark on, and this one has had the bark slightly come away from the surface, so I've had to glue it back down and hold it on at the minute with elastic. But it's important for me to have bark on there because I want it to look as natural as possible, and wood without the bark looks a bit more artificial. So I want the bark on there, and I'm going to use these as an arrangement to make it look like sort of you've set down your logs for burning on the fireplace. Now what the plan is to have the mushrooms grow out the surface, or appear to, which means I've got to feed wires through, but the thickness of the log is about the distance of the drill bit, so I can just about fit it through, but I don't want to just about fit it through, I want to be able to have a comfortable amount of room. So what I'm going to do is cut back on the amount of bark by cutting sort of a triangle out the middle, so as we come through on an angle we'll have plenty of space. It will come into the centre and there will be a gap in the middle in order to hide the wires as they run down. So the first job then is going to be cutting these pieces of wood to shape. So, in order to create the stems, what we're doing is laying down some cling film because it's something that nothing will stick to, adding on some food colouring, and then mixing that in with some ordinary silicone sealants. You can pick this up relatively cheaply at any hardware store, provided of course they're actually open, not in lockdown. And we're taking a series of 4 twisted wires of different colours so we can identify them afterwards. Mixing that in with the silicone and the food colour. Making sure to leave the wires exposed at the top and bottom. Then we wrap film around and mould the sealants around the wires. one thing that I tend not to film very much of because it's very difficult to film and do myself. Basically, stripped the wires at the very ends at one end, left a good amount of wire at the other end so I can feed it through. And all we're going to do is solder on an LED, so we're just going to cut that along the line that's shown on the strip. And if you've watched my other videos, you've seen how to do this, but just in case you haven't, we're going to solder onto these copper pads here, and we're going to colour code based on, so I've used 4 different coloured wires, based on the direction we're going to have the electricity flowing, in terms of what it is from the USB that's going to power it, and whether it's going to positive or negative. In terms of coming in from the USB, we're going to have it so that black is soldered to negative and red is to positive, and then we're going to have the opposite colours, opposite of red is blue. So we're going to have blue on the positive coming away towards the next light. And that's just a convenience. The wires, as long as it's not something that somebody else is going to have to follow, it's okay just to use any random colour as long as you know which one it's for. And I've also got another 2 colours which are going to be yellow and green, that are going to be the bridging wires between the mushrooms. So they'll run within the logs and connect them all up. And that's just so that I don't get confused when I'm wiring it all in. Which is the case now. And with all that done, we end up with something that looks like that, with a little dome on top. Then we take the mushroom top and we need to glue that in place over there. Now, if you glue the LED light directly to the inside of the mushroom, you can end up with just a spot that's lit up and it not diffusing well. So what I like to do is take the excess of the cling film, bunch it up because it's largely transparent, and then place the LED on that. Another thing you can do if you've saved yourself enough wire, if you've got enough wire to do it, is to bend it around so that the wire arches upwards and then down. And if the wire's stiff enough, then you can use that as a support rather than gluing it directly on. But I find that if you've got enough and you position it right, cling film on the inside, then you can get it to sit far enough away that you can disperse the light. If you want to test that, you can use a multimeter on the ends just to test if electricity is going through, or if you've got a strip of LEDs that you can power, then you can just touch the appropriate wires to the positive and negatives on the strip and it will light up. Fungi can grow into some quite interesting shapes, so feel free to get creative with your designs. Adding reindeer moss or something similar can help cover up any exposed wires or gaps. And there we have it, an enchanted fireplace to snuggle up in front of, drink some special tea.